Welcome to Grace by Rain, a podcast about the beauty in life. I'm your host, Elaine Shircliff. Thank you, everyone, for joining me again. It's Monday, so that means this is another episode of The Beauty of the Grand Rapids Griffins. I started this segment because this is the Griffins' 30th anniversary, their 30th season as a franchise. And I really want to highlight the beautiful things that I love about this sport and this team. This is my sixth season covering them, my first full season as a resident of Michigan, and my first full season where I'm going to be in the locker room for most of the home games. Before I was in Cleveland all the time, and I would come up here every once in a while, but we are full Griffins, and there's a lot to love about this team. And I don't think that they get the love that they deserve from people that live in this city and also from the fans of their NHL team. There is such a rich history with the Detroit Red Wings. The Wings have been around now for a literal century. And I don't know um, if their fans really buy into the love of the AHL as much as, say, the Columbus Blue Jackets fans have in the past 10 years. So I would really, really love to see and connect with Wings fans about the different things that make Grand Rapids special, because there's not always going to be a top prospect on the team, and there's still reason to watch the team. And I really want to highlight that to everyone because this is a special team. I enjoy this team. I moved I moved 5 hours away. Not just because of this team, but it was a huge selling point for me. I really love this organization and the people that work for it, and I love the vibe of the team, even when things aren't going well. And I think that more people would love them if they give them a chance. So that is why this segment started. Um, and so, with that in mind, I will talk about every Monday, we'll talk about something I found beautiful, maybe two things that I found beautiful from the week before, whether it be from the game, from post game, um, during like fans doing things during the game, outside of the game, or even just like anything that the media has done, social media wise, has done for the team or their foundation. Lots of things to love. This week, there were three things. There were so many things I could talk about that I loved, but there were three things. Um, to start, I will say the Griffins are on a roll. They have started the season 4-0 for the first time since the 2004-5 season. Yes, the 2004-5 season. They look so good. Okay. And the vibes are high, but not so high that they might pop at any moment. It's just good level, you know, baseline vibes, which are sustainable all season long. They did a weekend sweep of Texas last weekend, like 2 weekends ago. They did a weekend sweep of Manitoba this past weekend. Um, they were in control most of those games except Saturday's game against Manitoba. They won 4-2. It was dicey. They were not great in the first and much of the second, and then they got it going, and that was it. That was it. They took off with it, and there was no looking back. It's interesting to see because they used to have bad third period breakdowns, and now they're kind of coming alive in the third, or they might start to have the third period breakdown and then they bring it back, which is tough to do because once you have a breakdown, it's kind of hard to pull it back in. But they did it. And I think that's great. And there's like I said, a lot to love about this team. So three things that I loved and thought was beautiful about last week. We have to start with the goal songs. They they posted their goal songs since it was going to be the home opener on Friday. So they posted the goal songs that each person on the team was going to have. I love this so much. I think it's a great way for fans to connect with the players, and it's a great way for the players to have fun and show their individuality. It's kind of like having a walk-up song, right? Except it's a home run song if you're, a fan of baseball. Um, and some of the guys got really into it. I love these songs. I mean, we have like Gabriel Seeger doing Night Moves by Bob Seger. Like I am so excited for this kid to score because that's just going to be fun to hear, especially since they share the same last name. Dominic Shine, I mean, they did this last year and he had Mr. Boombastic. He's got it. He's got it again this year. And let me tell you, that man scored this weekend and vibes were off the charts. It was it was such a unique experience to see the fans celebrate, listening to that song, just seeing Dominic shine so happy after he scores and celebrating. And there's nothing quite like that. I don't know how to explain it, but there's nothing quite like watching Dominic shine, score, and then celebrate to the song Mr. Boombastic by Shaggy. Like, I'm older than everyone on this team. So for me, I'm 40. So for me, that song is just a lot of nostalgia. Um, so it's great. I think my favorite thing though is the goalies have songs. They have goal songs, and that's amazing. There was a person on Twitter who I can't find the tweet now. I was looking for it because I wanted to give them credit and I can't find it now. But Postavas, his song is Life is a Highway by Rascal Flatts. And this person was like, if a goalie scores on me and Life is a Highway plays, I'm just going to go ahead and retire. I'm done. And I'll be honest, like Sebastian Costa's song is Who Let the Dogs Out, and that's just as embarrassing as well. Not for Sebastian, because I love Who Let the Dogs Out, okay? But could you imagine you get scored on by a goalie and then Who Let the Dogs Out comes on? I would never recover. I would have to take that song off my playlist. It would leave my top 100 most played songs on like Spotify. It would have to go away. But there's a lot of great songs. If you're listening, you can see the list on their Twitter, on the Griffins Twitter. I'm not going to run through all of the songs. There's like 23 of them. So take a move over to their Twitter or watch this on YouTube or the video version on Spotify because I'm gonna put it up. You'll see it. So I love the goal song thing. It's great. The other thing that was beautiful, okay, night one, we're getting ready for post game, and there's all of these kids in the locker room. Like we we walk in the locker room, Austin Watson's kids are just milling about. we've got a whole hockey team in there. And then our first interview is Dominic Shine, and he comes in with Coop. Coop joins us in post game. And even better, Nick Harrington from Hockeytown West asked Coop a question. You You can check out my post game videos. You can check out Hockeytown West post game videos. You'll see it. It's so cute. Actually, check out Hockeytown West because they have like the full on shot of Coop and then Coop talking into the mic. If you if you're a Dominic Shine fan, you know Coop is the greatest thing. He's the greatest kid. He's so great. And I love that he brought him to post game like that. Um, but it was such a cool vibe. It was so beautiful. Like it was so family oriented in there. And I love, I just love it when like players bring their families in and make them a part of their life. Like they have this life that is not one that everyone gets to experience, right? They're getting interviewed, they're on the ice, like people they don't even know who they are, and their kids get to experience it, and they don't treat their child like a burden after the game. They bring them in and have them come into the locker room. They're there for post game. They're there together. They're, you know, in the lockers, like sitting there with their dads. It's so beautiful, and it's so beautiful that the team embraces it. And I know other teams do too. But with the Monsters, we weren't in the locker room. We were in the hallway. And I never got to see that. I know that Jack Brett Gallant's son was always in there. He was like basically another member of the team. But I never got to see it with my eyes. Like I would see him come out, I would see him go in, but it's different when you're in there and you see them in there and they're talking and they're laughing, and it's so beautiful to me to see so many of these rough and tough guys just embrace their fatherhood and show their kids how much they love them and want them to be a part of their work life and be a part of it in different ways that they can. And I love that. And also like all of those kids that were in there from that hockey team, I don't know what hockey team it was, but they were they were so excited. I don't know who was more excited, the kids or the dad. Um, but there was a mom and a daughter, and they were taking a selfie with like the locker room background with like the jerseys hung up and stuff. And I thought it was so cute. It reminded me of my mom and I. Like, we got to go into the Wings locker room the first year LCA was around after a Carolina Hurricanes thing, because we had like auctioned off. There were like an experience to auction off, but I also knew the person who was auctioning it off. And Jeff was so wonderful when we were in the locker room, and my mom was geeking out. Like she grew up a Wings fan. I did not, but she did. And she was taking pictures, like she loves the Bertuzzi family. She was like taking pictures of Tyler Bertuzzi's locker, and they had like legacy lockers. So his was right next to Nicholas Lindstrom's, and she was just so over the moon about it. And that moment reminded me of it because, a lot of times people think that the dads or the brothers get the girls into hockey, but in my case, it was a woman. It was my grandma Donnelly, and it was my mom who got me into hockey and made me love it so much. And to see another mom and her daughter just so excited to be in the locker room, be around hockey, it just it just reminded me of how it all began for me and where I was at now. And I just thought that was so beautiful too. Now, the third and final thing that I thought was just, God, I love this team. Okay, this team this year is so full of genuine love for the game and each other. And the chemistry is incredible. And you wouldn't think it would be, right? Because there's 8 veterans. We talked about it in the last one, the beauty of the humility of the veterans, right? There's 8 veterans, so only 6 can play a night. So 2 come in, 2 come out. And that's going to jumble up the lines a lot. But everyone's gelling. There seems to be no ego, and it's it's great. And I asked Sheldon Dries about it, about the chemistry, and he said something so great. I'm going to play the clip for you because it sounds better coming out of Sheldon's mouth than mine, because he just, that's how he felt. That was his first thought about why the chemistry is working on the team. So here's the clip. Yeah, now you did mention the chemistry and how well you guys are. Do you feel like that's also shining through on the lines? Because the lines are just all jumbled every game now because guys are in and out, but they're still doing well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it comes down to loving the person next to you and caring for your teammates. So it's next man up. It's the situation we're in right now with the amount of vets we have, and a couple guys have to sit out every game. So it's next man up mentality, and we're ready for the challenge.
It comes down to loving the person next to you and caring for your teammates. You hear a lot of guys say it's about like caring for your teammates. I hear that a lot. They say things like respect, stuff like that, those kind of buzzwords. I've never heard in a post game, someone say it's about loving the person next to you. And it's so true. As a player, if you can truly love the person next to you on the line through the ups and the downs, the wins, the losses, the season's going to be much easier. You're going to be able to respect them easier, see where they're coming from, and that chemistry is going to be there. I love that it was his first thought. It comes down to loving the guy next to you. I think about it even in the locker room when we're doing post game. I love the Hockey Town West boys. I will full on tell you right now that a huge part of my decision to move here came from the people that were in this locker room with me. I mean, Tyler, cool, he's not there this year. We're trying to get him back. We're going to get him a place to write. Okay, let's all pray on that and send good vibes that we can get him back in the locker room because we miss him. We miss him a lot. And also Tom Mitsos is there a lot, and I love them all. Like, genuinely love them all. I mean, when I was in Cleveland, I had Jeff Schledel, and he is truly my best friend. He is one of my best friends. And not having him in the locker room is hard because we love each other so much. We're like family because you spend all this time together. But I have Nick and Brandon and Tom, and I mean, Macy, the social admin, and Andrew Streidel, who is the PR guy. Like, they are wonderful people and make you feel like family all the time. And if you love what you're doing and you love the people you're with, it makes the job easier. And you can work together and you can collaborate and you can do things better together. And the same thing works when you're on the ice, where Brandon, Nick, and I have been like this even last year when they were first in the locker room. We played off each other a lot. We could build on each other's questions. They ask first, I ask next. Nick sometimes hops in, and then I sometimes hop back in after Nick if there's something to build on. It is more fun when you can do that. So when you're doing it on the ice, the same thing happens. You make a pass, he makes a pass. You go around the net, there's not an opening, you pass it off to someone. And if you love them and if they love you and you have that communication and that chemistry, magic will happen on the ice. And that's what we're seeing with the Griffins. We're seeing this amazing chemistry. It's like off the charts, crazy good. Like the chemistry is wild. They're doing no look passes, drop back passes, passing through traffic across the ice. They're fake attempting wraparounds to get it a pass through the ice to someone to score a goal. Okay, we saw that with Sheldon Dries to John Leonard. It was a wraparound attempt, and you could tell halfway around, he's like, oh, that's not going to work. And it became a fake wraparound, and he passed it off. And then John scored, and it was beautiful, but you can't force that. Those kind of communications happen when you understand each other, when you love each other, and when you are able to work together. And, having a guy like Sheldon Dries in the locker room who says those things off the cuff to the media is such a good thing. Um, he holds people accountable too. I remember last season when we were wondering what was going on with the team and when they were heading to Texas after the playoffs and like, during the playoffs and they're heading to Texas and they just weren't playing well. And he goes, it's not that they're bad. This team is good. It's between the ears. It's in the head. And it's cool that he can be so open about that and that the team trusts him to be open and that he trusts that his team won't take anything he says offensively. And I love that. I love it so much. And he's not the only one on the team. I know it's the same for Watson and Shine. And I can see it even when some of the young guys are talking too, that they genuinely care what each other thinks and they want to be better. And a lot of that comes down to the number one thing. They all love each other. So this week, I want to ask you guys two favors. One, tell me what to put on this wall behind me. I've gotten a lot of chirps in my DMs about this blank wall, but I don't know what to do with it. I've been here for like 6 months, okay? And I I have no clue what to put on this wall. So if you have ideas, let me know. Should I just put like Christmas lights back there? Should I hang up a tapestry? I do not know. This is my guest room. So I don't want to put anything that might be broken or that I really, really care about behind me in case like I have someone in here and they knock it off and I don't want them to feel bad. But give me some ideas, guys, or send me if you have anything you want to send me, like a poster or something, I will straight up put it on there, especially if you have a Ron Tugnut for President poster, because I had one of those when I was living in Oregon and it didn't make its way back to Ohio when I moved back. So let me know. But two, okay, and this is serious. Life is short, right? We never know when it's gonna end, or when someone's not gonna be in our lives anymore. So this week, okay, be like Sheldon and remember that who you're working with, who's by your side in your relationships, friends, romantically, family, that this good chemistry, it's all about loving the person next to you. Okay. Love the person next to you and be open about it and tell them you love them. Show them you love them. Let's do that this week. Okay. All right. I love you guys. See you soon. And remember to be kind and love always. My theme music is One Light by Nick Wilkinson and the Featured Players. You can find their latest album, Live Volume 1, on Bandcamp and Spotify. Live Volume 1 was recorded in front of a live audience on May 26, 2017 at Jilly's Music Room in Akron, Ohio.